Our next stop is the village of Biblian to see a very unique church. The next day we head further north to Alausí and Colta. After turning off the Panamerican Highway, we hike up the highest mountain on Earth, the Chimborazo volcano, and Laguna de Yambo turns out to be a perfect camping spot for the night. 42 kilometres north of Cuenca is the small village of Biblian. It's just off the Panamerican Highway. The main attraction here is the Santuario Católica de la Virgen del Rocío. The impressive church is built into the mountainside. Legend has it that in 1893 Biblian went through a severe drought. Animals and crops were dying. The parish priest at the time began to pray, and on Saturday, January the 20th, 1894, he went up the Zalao mountain and placed the image of a tiny virgin into a cave. Little by little, drops of water began to fall from the sky, and the Virgin was called Mother of the Jew. The church was built the same year, and the Virgen del Rocío is celebrated twice a year, on January the 20th and on September the 8th, with a Mass where thousands of pilgrims arrive from all around the country.
We're on the way to Alausí, and we're at almost 3,000 meters again, and the view is supposed to be really, really beautiful. My camera can't even focus here, but we're in the middle of a thick fog. We're crawling with about 20 miles along here. You can hardly see the people coming out of the fog. It's not the first time we're up in the clouds. Today is a really, really pissy day, really. And this is one of the most beautiful stretches in Ecuador, but we're coming back down the same way when we leave Colombia, so we're not too worried.
Alausí is the starting point for a famous train journey.
We're climbing the hill to the antennas. As you can hear by my puffing, it's quite exhausting. This is Alausí, and we still have a bit to go to the top. But from there we should get a great view onto a 360 view onto everything here.
The construction of the most difficult railway in the world began in 1899. It went from Guayaquil on the coast of Ecuador to Quito in the Andes. The most technically challenging part of this rail route, however, was a sheer rock face known as the Devil's Nose, or Nariz del Diablo, that is between Alausí and Zimbabwe. To ascend this 800-metre cliff, the engineers carved a series of steep switchbacks that allowed the train to climb at a gradient of 1 in 18 by alternately advancing and reversing up the tracks. By the time the Nariz del Diablo portion of the track had been completed, more than 2,000 workers had died from disease, hard labour or the climate. Nevertheless, the completion and the first ascent of Nariz del Diablo in 1902 was an incredible feat of railway engineering at the time. The line continued operating with interruptions until 1997, when landslides during El Niño devastated the tracks, effectively shutting down the entire line. Currently, only a 12-kilometre stretch from Alausí to Zimbabwe is open, that takes tourists through gorgeous mountain scenery and a thrilling descent over the Devil's Nose. When the train reaches the famous switchbacks, the clouds are rolling in. All of a sudden it gets really stormy, and it's fascinating to watch the clouds dancing below us.
The clouds are literally falling down on Alausí.
At the end, we are lucky to get a glimpse of the train at the last switchback. Good job we didn't pay the $30 per person for the ride. A few minutes later, all the clouds are gone again. Typical.
This is where we're going in a minute, down to Alausí. This is amazing. It's so steep here and there's still growing stuff on the slope. Must be hard for the bulls as well. Senor Alausí, I think.
It says San Pedro, but anyway.
San Pedro, in Alausí.
In Alausí.
This is Alausí now. Quite a nice little town.
On the way to the fruit and vegetable market, Kirsten runs into another procession. In the afternoon, we stop in the small village of Colta to see the oldest church in Ecuador.
This is the oldest church in Ecuador.
It was built in 1534. Guinea pig, or cuy, as it is called in South America, is a local delicacy that's unique to the highlands of Peru, Bolivia and Ecuador. The guinea pig is skinned and then cooked whole on a spit on a metal pole over hot coals.
You need 45 minutes to be done.
They are then brushed with butter and spices to make them tasty. The meat is moist and tender, and we were told it tastes just like chicken. Calpe is the turn-off point from the Panamerican Highway to the Chimborazo volcano.
We're still down at Calpe. We can see parts of Chimborazo. Tonight we're staying in the back of a police station, and hopefully we can see Chimborazo tomorrow. There's a cemetery right across. We're driving up to the Chimborazo. We're over 4,000 meters now. Chimborazo, 6,320 meters high, I think. It's the tallest mountain on Earth, measured from the center of the Earth. We're not quite sure if it's just higher as K2, but it says that it's higher than Mount Everest. Fog's rolling in. We're at the visitor center now. The views are zero. The fog's rolling in. You can get a lot closer. I'm not sure if we're going to do that.
While Kirsten is taking videos of the vicuñas, a taxi drives through the gate and two men get out to register. They look like tourists, and with only two in the taxi, there'd be room for two old biddies like us, right? So I asked Paul and Raphael if they'd mind us sharing. Not a problem. Super.
Raphael and Paul were so nice and kind to take us up with a taxi. So they're going for the second refuge now. I'm going to go very slowly and go my own pace.
The taxi ride takes 40 minutes to go up to the first shelter at 4,800 metres. From there we start hiking up to the second shelter. It's only 200 metres higher, but walking at such a high altitude is tough.
It's really amazing. A minute ago it was in the sun. Now the clouds rolled over it. These are the graves of the people who didn't make it safely back down. Very sad. This might be another way to go. Helen and the guys are already further up. I'm taking it really, really slowly. We're over 4,800 meters here, and you can climb a lot higher. I'm not going to do that. There's the other refuge. There's Helen and the guys. They're not that far from the top. Top meaning the other refuge, which is at 5,000 meters. When the sun's out, it's really hot. He's transporting the stuff to the higher camps. The vicuñas are high up here, 4,900 meters. They're not bothered by the tourists. Some lovely flowers here. Another cloud rolling in. You can't see the other refuge anymore. And I can't see the guys anymore either. I'm right in the middle of it. I guess this is very important when you're in the thick fog here, that you can use your cell phone to call for help or orient yourself. I don't know if Maps.me works up here, but Helen and the guys are almost up there now. Slowly but steady. It's really amazing how fast the clouds roll in. I'm still going up, not too far from the second refuge, but the guys might be coming down before I actually reach the top. But I gotta take it slowly. I can feel my heartbeat racing, and at 4,900 meters I don't want to get altitude 6, so but look at that, really, really spooky. This is the group behind me. They have a guide and he's pacing them. He stops them at certain points, lets them breathe, and then they continue. We started off at the same time, so I'm doing fine. This is the way to go down, on the shoulders of Daddy. The guys are shaking their legs behind the group. They do that to get the blood circulation going. The guide tells them to do that. I saw Helen and the guys going up a little further, but I'm almost at the refuge and I'm going to wait there for them. This is the refugio whimper. They are solar panels, and we came from somewhere down there. I'm aiming a little further. I didn't want to, but I'm actually feeling okay because there's a path, and I hope it's short. It's leading up to a laguna. I might make that. I think Helen and the guys are already out there. Here's my group coming. I'm sure they made it up to the lagoon. Not sure if they could actually see something, I hope. Because I'm not going to even attempt it. Too cloudy. Helen is a mountain goat anyway.
Oh, here she is.
Did you make it to the lagoon?
We made it to the lagoon. There's
But
a snowman.
A snowman?
A snowman.
And did you see anything?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I saw you.
And a very mucky brown lagoon.
Okay.
It's only a puddle.
I'm so glad I didn't attempt any further than that.
But I took a video of these guys having a snowball fight.
There you go. On the highest mountain on this planet, a snowball fight. Excellent.
Yeah.
You can't wish for more than that. Maybe sunshine, but no, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Photos.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
That's what happened to Cotopaxi. It just suddenly like was like a bit like this, and that sound like whoop, all the clouds were gone.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, everything is
Oh,
fine.
boy.
I think this is called the castle wall. And everybody's taking shots of the sign here. Oops. We just got we're at 5,000 meters.
No sé, ahí al sucelo. No, no. No, tapa. Ahí, viendo para qué. Una, dos.
That wasn't enough, come on. See, this woman has all the air at 5,000 meters to blow the clouds away. It's definitely lifting. Here's another way to get out. Opportunity to get back down to our motorhome. David, the taxi driver, and then the guys took us up, which was perfect. Just had to get out because the taxi got stuck here in there. We set out on that hump there, yeah.
That's us. We were on the left-hand side. On Christmas Day anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
And Boxing Day. Probably there were probably lots of people out. We just have to go blind here.
We're leaving now. We just had a second breakfast, and as you can see, you can't see a thing anymore. We're leaving at the right time, but people are still pulling in, and it starts raining actually. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
I'm gonna have to go this way.
It's really fogging up now. And it's cold. It's really cold all of a sudden.
On our way back to the Panamerican Highway, we encounter an event in San Juan. A TV station is filming a local dancing group.
Laguna Yambo. We are parking here for the night. It's a Sunday and it's really busy. Lots of restaurants and people here. I'm just as tired as he is from climbing Chimborazo today. Laguna Yambo in the morning. We had a really quiet night here. Beautiful place. Now we're going back up to the Panamerican Highway. It's quite steep, but Vinny too is pulling. Thank God it's tarmacked and not gravel, because we have front axle rotation. Can't remember the English word right now, but never mind. It's not easy to get up here, but it was a beautiful night down there, and it's nice and sunny today. We're just going. If anybody's coming, which is not likely on Monday morning. This is quite spectacular.
In our next video, we will take you for a walk around Laguna Quilotoa, and then we're off to Cotopaxi, another famous volcano in Ecuador.